Gritsamada is amazingly beautifully fitting into the Bhrigu parampara. So let us look what he says. This is one of the most luminous hymns to Agni, where Agni is identified with all the gods. All the gods are nothing but Agni in action. So it is Jagati, 12-syllabic meter. It's longer hymn, 16 verses. Tuvam Agne Dyubhih, Tuvam Ashushukshanih, Tuvam Adibhiach, Tuvam Ashmanaspari, Tuvam Vanebhiach, Tuvam Oshadhibhiach, Tuvam Nrenam Nripate Jaya Se Shuchich. O fire, thou art born with thy lights flaming out on us in thy effulgence. Thou art born from the waters and around the stone. Thou art born from the forests and born from the plants of the earth. Pure art thou in thy birth, O master of man and his race. Interestingly, the combination of both is here. You can see that Agni is born from all the formations of nature, from forests, from greenery, from stone, or around the stone. We will come to it in a minute. And he is also the lord of the man of his race. So it is, he is Dvipat and Chatushpat. He is approached in both already in the first verse. So most probably that's why it is mentioned that he belongs, Gritsamada belonged to Angirasa and was adopted by Bhargava. So because he has this double view on Agni immediately from the beginning. One is the human aspect of the soul in the heart, and the other is in nature. He starts with nature and comes to man. So my interpretation, O Agni, you are born with or by flaming brightness, or literally by heavenly brightness, Dyubhich. Dyu, Divach, Diauch is heaven. So that heavenly light is engaged in nature. That heavenly which is beyond, which is above, is engaged in nature. So, and that is, you are flaming, or you are coming together with the heavenly light, not with the earthly light. Interesting. Tuam Ashushukshani. Ashushushani is only met in this hymn. It is from shuch to flame with brightness. You are shining with purity, or purity, shuchi, shukra, from here. You are born from the waters, adbhyach tuam, tuam ashanaspari, and this is interesting, you are born around the stone, not from the stone, but pari. Word pari is used, which is definitely around. And Sri Aurobindo leaves this without really reconciling it, around the stone. What does it mean around the stone? You remember that in the Bible, Moses discovered the divine which was burning as a flame on the stone. It was a stone, and on the stone there was a flame, which was a miraculous kind of vision. How come that the flame is staying on the stone? There's nothing to burn from it, as it were. Stone is not giving the energy, it's not burnt. So this burnt around the stone, some mysterious statement. It looks like that what it means deeply, what it means, that the symbol or the vision of the inner experience, when the inner being is discovered, it is described always as a flame which is burning by itself, which does not need food for itself to burn. I think this kind of points to that idea of being free in its own flaming, which is the symbol of the inner being. Mother also describes that flame in the heart of man as flaming and burning by itself. It's not something which is eating something to burn. It doesn't need. And interestingly enough, that inner flame in the heart, if we have a glimpse of it, we will see that it is supported. There is a food, but the food is coming from the support from above, as it were. There is a column of light, of heavenly light, which connects this flame to the heavenly flame, or source of light, rather than flame. So this beginning that you are shining onto all, Ashushukshanich, with the heavenly effulgence, as Shurbinder says. And you are from the waters. Interesting word, waters. Waters are those primordial waters of existence before the manifestation was formed from them. And you are around the stone. So I'm kind of assuming that this is a deeper symbolism for the mystics to understand that the source of Agni is heaven, and his delegate here onto the stone, onto our manifestation in matter, which is unregenerated, not yet transformed matter, stone, that infinite stone, rock as inconscient. So there, in the depth or on the top of it, there is Agni flaming, which does not need any food. So I can see here kind of indication of two sources of Agni. One is its universal source, which will support nature, and the other is that flame which we represent as psychic beings. You are from the forests, you are from the greenery, Oshadhibih, you are the Lord of man, or the Lord of all the, I'm translating, of the heroic souls of man. Because Nari has a meaning of the, and Shobindu many times translates this word as the heroic soul or the heroic power of the soul of man even. So you are the Lord of man, of all the heroic powers of his soul. So all those powers, those effulgences, or those flamings, he is the Lord of everything which is shining from within. And you are born pure, not marred by your location in the midst of nature. Okay, let's move forward. Tava Agne Hotram, Tava Potram, Retviyam Tava Neshtram, Tuvam Agnidh Ritayatach, Tava Prashastam, Tuvam Adhvariyasi, Tvam Adhvariyasi, Brahmachasi, Grihapatishcha Nodame. Tava Agne Hotram, Tavagne Hotram, Tava Potram Ritviyam, This is the rhythm. Tavagni hotram, tavapotram ritviam, tavanestram tuvam agnit hritayatach, tavaprashastram tvam adhvariyasi, tuvam ad Tavaprashastram tuvam adhvariyasi brahmachasi grihapatishcha nodame. Now I found the rhythm. One has to deconstruct the syllables. O fire, thine are the call and the offering, hotra. Thine the purification and the order of the sacrifice, potram. Thine the illustration, ritviam. Thou art the fire bringer, neshtram, for the seeker of the truth. Tvam agnidh, you are, the enunciation is thine, it's a prashastram. So you are the fire bringer, is agnidh, the one who kindles the fire. For the seeker of the truth, ritayatach. The enunciation is thine, tava prashastram, the declaration. Tava, thou becomes the pilgrim rite. Tvam adhvariyasi, thou art the priest of the word, brahmacha asi, grihapatishcha nodame, and the master of the house in our home. So here, the whole set of the priesthood, you can see all the priests are defined by these: Hotar, Potar, Ritvig, Neshtar, all these Agnidh, these are the priests, Prashastar, Adhvaryu, and Brahma. These are all names of the priests. And somewhere Sri Aurobindo beautifully describes the priesthood. Let me look into this. I took the quotation from his Secret of the Veda. Sri Aurobindo writes, no sacrifice is possible without Agni. He is at once the flame on the altar and the priest of the oblation. Of course, it's very new for us, but we have to see how independently the fire works, yes, what he does. It's his office. When man awakened from his night wills to offer his inner and outer activities to the gods of a truer and higher existence, and so to arise out of mortality into the far-off immortality, his goal and his desire, it is this flame of upward aspiring force and will that he must kindle. Into this fire he must cast the sacrifice. For it is this that offers to the gods and brings down in return all spiritual riches. The divine waters, the light, the strength, the rain of heaven. This call, this carries the gods to the house of the sacrifice. We are the house of the sacrifice. And this flame in us, this aspiration calls to them and brings them down. Agni is the priest man puts in front, Purohita, of this of his spiritual representative. A will, a force greater, higher, more infallible than his own doing, for him the works of the sacrifice. Purifying, potra, potri in this hymn. I'm just underlining these, making them visible. This office of Agni, purifying the materials of the oblation by burning them, offering them to the gods, Hotra, Potra and Hotra, whom it has summoned to the divine ritual. He first summons them as Hotar, and then he is offering what he purified to them, determining the right order, ritvig, another office, and seasons, ritvij, rituij, sacrificing according to the season, conducting the progress, the march forward, marching forward, adhvariyasi, moving forward, pilgrim sacrifice, the march of the sacrificial development. These and other various functions of the symbolic priesthood represented in the outward sacrifice by different officiating priests are discharged by the single Agni. So we, in this verse, we see all of them in one go. The one, the Agni is invoking and offering the offering. He is purifying the offering, potram. He is doing it in accordance with the proper time, ritviyam. He is leading it forward, neshtram, bringing, well, in the later ritual, it has different things, but moving forward or leading forward the flame, neshtri, from rutni to lead. Agnid, he is kindling the flame for the one who seeks the truth, ritayatach. He has the invocation, prashastram, or the order of the sacrifice, and he moves it forward on the path, advariyasi. He is also the Brahma, the one who possesses the word. Brahma is the priest who does not speak in Agnihotra, but he plays the role of witnessing all what is being done. And he is the Lord of our house. He dwells within our body, within our heart. Dame, in our house. Grihapatih, he is the Lord of the house. So everything is in one verse, all the definitions of Agni, what he does, his office. And then later it becomes a ritual, and the different priests play this role of Agni, kind of symbolizing what is to be done. There is more here about Agni. I just put a few more quotations which may help us to understand better the hymn and in general the concept. Agni is the leader of the sacrifice and protects it in the great journey against the powers of darkness. The leader of the sacrifice, the transformation. Sacrifice is a constant transformation of our nature by the spirit or by the spiritual powers, gods. And he protects it also, this journey of spiritual transformation, against the powers of darkness, because they try to gobble it and to stop it. The knowledge and purpose of this divine puissance can be entirely trusted. He is the friend and lover of the soul and will not betray it to evil gods. There are evil gods who want to take advantage of it. Even for the man sitting far off in the night, enveloped by the darkness of the human ignorance, this flame is the light which, when it is perfectly kindled, and in proportion as it mounts higher and higher, enlarges itself into the vast light of the truth. Such a beautiful image, very simple, and we have the whole divinity in us which wants to grow, and if we allow it to grow, it will grow. Flaming upward to heaven, to meet the divine dawn. The divine dawn is the mother. It rises through the vital and nervous midworld and through our mental skies and enters at last the paradise of light. its own supreme home above, where joyous forever in the eternal truth, that is the foundation of the sempiternal bliss, the shining immortals sit in their celestial sessions and drink the wine of the infinite beatitude. They have a party there. They drink the wine of the infinite beatitude. By the way, that drinking wine is the symbol in the physical world of the same, getting drunk with the delight and with Ananda. And the grapes are actually symbolizing the divine Ananda. Do you know that? Mother gave the name, the divine Ananda, to the grapes. It is true that here the light is concealed, here in this world. Agni, like other gods, figures here as a child of the universal parents, heaven and earth, mind and body, soul and material nature. This earth holds him concealed in her maternity and does not release him for the conscious works of the Father. This is from Mandala 5. We will read the first hymn, or the second hymn, of the Mandala 5, where the mother holds him back and does not deliver to his father because he is not ready and she needs to grow together with him. So he makes her grow and become the queen. And once she is the queen, she delivers him as a prince to his father. This is the imagery. She hides him in her growths, her plants, herbs, trees, the forms full of her heats, because Oshadhi is actually the one who holds the heat. Oshadhi is the grass, the greenery, but it is full of fire inside. That's why it burns. That's why we have oil and gas, because these were the greeneries. The objects that keep for the soul its delights. But at last, she shall yield him up. She is the lower tinder. The mental being is the upper tinder. By the pressure of the upper on the lower, the flame of Agni shall be born. But it is by pressure, by a sort of churning, that he is born. Therefore, he is called the son of force. There must be some pressure, some tension, some conflict, if you will, for the flame to be born. The Veda speaks of this divine flame in a series of splendid and opulent images. He is the rapturous priest of the sacrifice, the god will intoxicated with his own delight, the young sage, the sleepless envoy, the ever-wakeful flame in the house, the master of our gated dwelling place, the beloved guest, the Lord in the creature, the seer of the flaming tresses, the divine child, the pure and virgin moon, the invincible warrior, the leader of the path who marches in front of the human peoples, the immortal immortals, the worker established in man by the gods, the unobstructed in knowledge, the infinite in being, the vast and flaming sun of the truth, the sustainer of the sacrifice and discerner of its steps, the divine perception, the light, the vision, the firm foundation. Throughout the Veda, it is in the hymns which celebrate this strong and brilliant deity that we find those who are the most splendid in poetic coloring, profound in psychological suggestion, and sublime in their mystic intoxication. It is as if his own flame and cry and light had seized with a burning ecstasy on the imagination of his poets. It's amazing how beautifully it is expressed. It is Agni himself, caught the imagination of his poets and made them say that what they said. So this is the quotation from, I'm not going through all the office. We may dwell on it maybe later and look into those kind of Agnihotra office, how ritual is done and what these priests are doing. But the whole idea is quite clear, that any offering which is offered to the gods has to be purified. First of all, the gods are to be invoked, and offering is to be given to them. But before it is given, it has to be purified. It has to be brought forward. The fire has to be kindled, yes, Agnit. And the journey of this constant offering in time has to be maintained, Ritvik and Adhvaryo. Adhvaryo is the pilgrim sacrifice, moving forward on the path of the sacrifice. So the path is not ending with one offering. The one offering is only one step on the path. Then there is next offering and next, and so on and so forth. And the whole pilgrimage of our spiritual journey is opening up, because the fire is to be maintained and he is to grow in his intensity and reach to higher and higher levels, occupying more and more space within our life. So in that sense, the journey is to continue. And then, now we are coming to the gods finally. The identification of Agni with all the gods we know in Vedic tradition. Tuvam Agne Indro Vrishabhach Satam Asi Tuvam Vishnu Urugayo Namasyach Tuvam Brahma Raivid Brahmanaspate Tuvam Vidhartach Sachase Puram Dhya. So they start with Indra. O fire, thou art Indra, the bull of all that are, and thou art wide-moving Vishnu. Urugayach Vishnu, yeah? With wide strides, 3 strides of Vishnu. One, to be worshipped, Namasyach, with obeisance. A master of the word, Brahma, thou art Brahma, Brahmanaspate. O master of the word, O Brahmanaspate, thou art Brahma. Brahma is the priest or the creator. In the later literature, it is Prajapati, the finder of the riches, Raivid, O fire, who sustains each and all. Closely thou companions the goddess of the many thoughts, such as a Puramdhiya. Puramdhi is the Vedic imagery of the goddess, which has many concentrations, or many thoughts, or many formations of consciousness, let us say, powers focusing consciousness in different directions. It's some kind of the formation of the Divine Mother, which is acting in nature and in the higher nature, of course, and creates all possible relations between selves in manifestation. Sri Aurobindo give footnotes, wide moving Vishnu, wide sun also possible, Urugayach. well, he follows the sayana here, the possibilities of translation, and the goddess tenant of the city, Puramdhi. Pura is the city, Dhi as the establishment, as that Dhimahi as the focusing of consciousness, dhyana, dhyai, dhyayati, thinking. Dhi is also the higher thought. It's interesting that in the Yoga Sutras, dhyana level is before samadhi. It is the level where the concentration of consciousness is seamless or effortless, becomes natural. So you can fix your consciousness upon any object of sense effortlessly. And this is the power of dhyana. So Puramdhi, you can imagine, this is the power of focusing consciousness effortlessly in many different directions. If you want, we can translate it as multitasking or multi-focusing power. So if Agni is Indra and Vishnu and Brahman, then what are we talking about? Who are Vishnu, Brahman, and Indra? What are they doing there then? It seems that only through Agni, as Sri Aurobindo says, only with kindling of Agni, that sacrifice, that manifestation of the spirit in nature can be done. So basically, all these powers are necessary, such as Indra, Vishnu, Brahman. They are there waiting to be kind of engaged. And to the degree they are engaged, the transformation is taking place. So, but to be engaged, Agni, without Agni, they cannot be engaged. It is through him and by him only that they can do their work and their purpose can be fulfilled. Otherwise, they'd have no purpose to be. There is no reason for them to be. Yes, Kinshu.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.